This is a Sports Catastrophe production.
Hey there, how there, ho there. It's Jeff from Cutter Diamond welcoming you to another Sports Catastrophe on this day. And on this day, April 11, 2004, one of the best stories in golf happened as Phil Mickelson, the man who always seemed to come oh so close to winning a major, finally did it. He won his first major golf tournament ever, narrowly winning by one stroke. So, anyway, it's strange how I did the 2005 tournament for the last on this day, and now I'm doing 2004. Well, I mean, the 2004 tournament was huge with Phil Mickelson. Anyway, they decided to change the sudden death playoff movement. Now, prior to 1976, playoffs at Augusta were 18-hole rounds. Billy Casper was the last to win an 18-hole playoff round in 1970. But they decided to make it a playoff form. Sudden death started in 1976, so it would be the 10th hole, then 11, then would alternate. So prior to the 2004 Masters, they changed the rules saying that the sudden death playoff would be on 18, then 10, 18, 10, 18, 10. So anyway, it wasn't used for this format. It was used for 2005. So anyway, to qualify for the Masters, you had to be either a Masters champion or a US Open champ the previous 5 years, or a British Open champion the last 5 years, PGA champion the last 5 years, Players champion the last 3 years, US Amateur champion and runner-up, British Open Amateur, top 16 and tie from the 2003 Masters if you haven't picked up any other of the things. Top 8 players and ties from 2003 US Open, again, if you haven't already qualified. Top players from the 03 British Open and PGA, and money list. So anyway, first round, Justin Rose from England had a 5 under par first round with Chris DeMarco. Yes, that guy from last video. Alongside Jay Haas at -3. Tied for fourth versus Alex Shaka, Darren Clark, Ernie Els, and Chris Riley. So it looked pretty good. Tiger Woods would only shoot 3 over par, which wasn't really the best thing around. Phil Mickelson shot a even par 72. However, Mickelson would put up a 3 under 69 to take a 3 under par round into the weekend, tied for fourth KJ Choi. Justin Rose, despite only shooting 1 under par, narrowly was up by 2 strokes over Shaka and Jose Maria Olazabal. So anyway, it was just amazing what it could do. Shockingly, Mike Weir and Ben Curtis, who won majors the previous year, Weir the 03 Master Champion and Ben Curtis the 03 British Open Champion, missed the cut, which was +4. Brett Snedeker, remember the name, was an amateur, and he made the cut, luckily. Mickelson would shoot a 69 to tie Chris DeMarco for first place after 3 rounds. Rose, Olazabal, and Seika all had terrible rounds and would fall down the leaderboard. So DeMarco and Mickelson were tied for first after 3 rounds. Paul Casey of England was at 4 under par. KJ Choi, Ernie Els, and Bernard Langer, the 1985 Masters champion, were all tied for fourth. So anyway, it was a massive duel between Phil Mickelson and Ernie Els to claim his first major championship. Els posted a 67 or 5 under par. Of course, he was playing ahead of Mickelson because he was behind him and all that. So Els' 8 under par looked good to make it to a playoff. Els actually had 2 bogeys in the first 5 holes, but gained form, picked up a pair of eagles on par 5s, which is the easiest hole to eagle or get -2 on the hole. Els knew what he could do. But Phil Mickelson had a terrible front 9, being 2 over par. He had to match Ernie Els' back 9, or else he was dead meat. But Mickelson birdied the par 3 12 and the par 5 13th, and had a birdie on 14. Unfortunately, he parred on 15, which kept the tie, but the par 3 16th, Mickelson put a good tee shot. He was 20 feet above the pin, and he pulled it downhill to tie for the lead. He was tied, headed to the final tee. And knew what he had to do. With an 18-foot shot, if he made it, then he wins the Masters. If he misses or comes close, he will have a playoff with Els. So he was confident enough. Bernard Langer, who was the 1985 British Open, Masters champion, ended up tied for fourth with Sergio Garcia. KJ Choi of Korea took 30 minus 6. So anyway, Mickelson an 18-foot putt. And as the putt was sneaking towards the hole, Jim Nance of CBS Sports says, "Is it his time?" Yes! He did it. Phil Mickelson finally gets his major, and the fans just went nuts. What a job by Mickelson after an even par first round to go 69, 69, 69. Yes, I know you're laughing, but don't. So, anyway, Mickelson had done it. He pulled off a rally for the ages and won his first major. It was just gut wrenching and all that for Mickelson because he was so close and all that. So anyway, yeah, he had some key matchups in trying to win a major. Before 2004, his best performance at the Masters was third place in 96, 01, 02, and 03, which is weird how he took third place 3 straight years. The U.S. Open, he had 2 runner-up finishes in 99 and 2002, including that painstakingly lost to Payne Stewart in 99. The British Open, he had never been to top 10 before 2004. And in the PGA Championship, he actually had a second in 2001. So everyone was hoping for Mickelson to finally win a major, which he did. That's what he did. He won a major. He did it. What would be weird is that Mickelson actually had a year for the ages in 2004. Not only did he win the Masters, he actually took second at the US Open in 2004, although not as painful as 2006 when he had the tournament won, but he made critical mistakes on 18. He took third at the British Open, finally being a top 10 in the British Open, and took sixth at the PGA Championship. So he won 4 top 10 spots in the majors. And that would be the only time in history he would do so. All for me. Mickelson would go on to win 5 more majors. The PGA Championship in 05, the Masters in 06, the Masters in 2010, the British Open in 2013, and the PGA Championship in 2021 at the age of 50, making him the oldest to win a major. Unfortunately for Mickelson, he would never win the big one, the US Open, because he had 5 runner-up finishes. Isn't that just painstakingly awful that you don't win a tournament, but in your career you've gone 5 times runner-up? Such is life, c'est la vie. But Mickelson finally broke the mold and won a major. And he had good luck throughout the rest of his career. So what's there not to like? Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. Adieu.